Grab your glasses, everybody. It's time for a Moonshine Safari.
Welcome to Moonshine Safari, everyone, from Moonshine Safari Studios here in, well, it's not really sunny today too much. It was
a little bit overcast.
And a little overcast.
It was
and then
pretty
some sun
sunny
came
coming
out.
home.
Yeah, sun came out.
Yeah.
But anyway, from Gilbert, Arizona, we welcome you to Moonshine Safari.
Welcome.
Hey, Dinah, how are you?
Fine, Josh. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty
See,
good.
doesn't he do that well? You would not want me to do that, would you?
Oh, well, we were talking about that earlier. I think Dinah, because this is the 26th episode that I've done most of the lead in. Well,
it's so much
actually,
better.
I've done all of the lead
Yes.
in.
See, okay, but I think he has a voice perfect for that and a personality perfect for that.
But see, I think our listeners need a change of pace. Don't you guys think you need a change of pace? Wouldn't you like to hear Dinah, I guess, I want to say host the show, but basically
MC?
Lead the show. Yeah.
Okay, but to be fair, I'm the one.
I'll be your sidekick.
When we're telling the stories, I'm the one telling most of the story.
That is true. You do tell stories because that's where you do. Your memory's way better than mine. When it comes to stuff like that, it's way better. That's true. But you could just do it all.
No, I couldn't.
It'd be fun.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
I don't think I could.
I think if you guys want Dinah to do that, you guys should make a comment in below. And where could they make comments and stuff about this?
Well, there's a lot of places actually. They can make comments on Instagram. They can make comments on Facebook. They can make comments on Twitter.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am probably less active on Facebook than I am on Twitter and Instagram. Also, SoundCloud, YouTube.
Yeah, all those fun places.
All the places.
All those fun places. Yeah, so definitely check us out on all of those. And yes, this is our 26th episode.
And first one of
2019.
2019.
Happy New Year, everybody. We said Happy New Year in the last one because we recorded it on New Year's Eve, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
I believe we did because we didn't do it on the Sunday one.
No, we did not.
Anyway, hey, we got some shout outs we like to do to kick off the show and thank you guys for tuning in and listening and supporting and all that fun stuff and liking it.
But we're a proud one.
Yeah. Like it, click it, do all that fun stuff you're supposed to do. Yeah. Click the bell, ring the thing, I don't know, all that fun stuff, all right? Hey, I want to give a shout out to my aunt. She got out of the hospital before New Year's, which was awesome. Thank goodness.
Welcome home.
Yeah, positive vibes. She's doing much better. Thank you. And shout out to Del Toro. Del Toro got his first tattoo.
Oh, my God.
I got his first tattoo on New Year's. He's been, like, jonesing for this thing for a long time. Yeah. It really looks good, too. Really, really good. So a shout out to, was it Third Eye?
Yeah, Third Eye body piercing and tattoos or something like that.
I'm sorry.
It's in Mesa, guys. It's definitely Third Eye.
Yeah, it's Third Eye. So look them up. If you look up Third Eye tattoos, you'll find them.
The artist over there is like watercolors and stuff like that. So if anyone's looking for that.
Maneka is the one that did Del Toro's. And she did a great job. So check that out, obviously. Also, like to give out a shout out to our listeners, a Lucille Matthewson. Thank you for listening. Kathleen Madigan. Hold on.
Right?
Whoa. Kathleen Madigan. That sounds familiar. I think we know a Kathleen Madigan.
Well, not personally.
We don't know them personally.
But we like her brand of comedy.
There is a right. This is the Kathleen Madigan is following us on Twitter, y'all. Yeah, so Kathleen Madigan,
and she's
shout out.
Awesome.
Oh, and yeah, she's coming in like June, right?
Yep, and we're going. We got our tickets.
We already got our tickets because when she comes to
Talking Stick,
we're there. Man, are we there? This
will be the third year, actually.
Third year, right? Third year. Oh, so much fun. Oh, she is hilarious. So, Kathleen Madigan. Also, not to be undone, but the J Trainer Bad. I don't know who they are, but thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
J Trainer Band. Thank you very much. Hey, at Matt Newman. Hey, at Matt Newman.
Hey, at Matt.
And Bill Engvall 5.
Bill Engvall
I'm guessing
fans. By
that's
the way,
not the real
we're
Bill
no, and you know
Engvall.
what? We're Bill Engvall fans as well.
Oh, yeah, we like Bill Engvall. We like a lot of comedy. As you know, we have a little Tickle Your Funny in our blog. We love music. We love comedy. We love stuff like this. And from time to time, Dinah will never be funny.
I'm always funny, and he's just threatened by it.
That's it. But hey, coming up, what have we been listening to? It's the music time on Moonshine Safari.
Moonshine Safari.
Stick with us.
What's Josh listening to?
All right, welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, Dinah, what you been listening to?
Well, I started trying to get back into the music. I was supposed to be practicing for the last month and a half on my vocal stuff. So
Awesome.
I've been listening to that. I think it's called It's a Great Big World. Say Something. It's Christina Aguilera. I'm supposed to learn that song. I'm not normally a Christina Aguilera fan necessarily. I mean, I think she's talented and all that. It's just not normally the kind of music I go for. But I'm supposed to be learning that song. So I've been listening to that quite a bit. And also at work sometimes, honestly, my Harry Potter books.
Awesome. But she has also been listening to something I've been listening to because
It's true.
she's kind
It's
of had
making
to
its
because
way
I've
into
been
my little
listening to
brain.
it. I've been listening to Blackberry Smoke, obviously.
Obviously.
We're getting ready to get smoked on the 30th. I know they're out on a cruise right now, guys, on that Southern Rock cruise, having a blast, jamming out there in the ocean. Guys, be safe. Come back.
Sounds like a good time.
Got to come to Tempe on January 30th so we can get smoked for our first time. I can't wait. And also Brothers Osborne. Been listening to them.
Yep.
Actually learning some of their tunes on my Get Fiddle. And got Del Toro thumping on his bass. I heard him this afternoon, and he sounds like he's got the rum line kind of already
Woo-woo.
figured out, which will be cool when we can put that together. And other than that, it's been kind of a dry week writing wise for me. I've had a couple ideas, but never really just like panned out, like fleshed out a song or anything as far as that goes. But hey,
We're trying to wake ourselves up out of that holiday lull.
yeah, I'm still kind of in a fuzz. And we'll talk about, because we're sharing our lives with you. We're going to talk about our diets and stuff that we do. And we've kind of been off our normal scheduled diet that we normally do.
Very off.
We are coming out of the holiday pudge and trying to get back into eating right and doing
I'm trying
what
to get
we're
back
supposed
into
to
my
do.
regular, not holiday pudge.
It's a challenge. Dieting sucks. It just does. And we try to make it a lifestyle, and you eat all that good food, and then you realize, hey, that delicious food is why you're fat.
Yeah, and truthfully, and you don't feel as good. And it
You
is
don't.
true, you don't feel as good when you eat it. It's just that it also tastes so good, so
that's right.
you're at war with yourself.
Yep.
So.
For sure. All right. Hey, stay tuned. We're going to try and tickle your funny bone. Be right back. Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody, from Moonshine Safari Studios. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, Dinah.
Hey, Josh.
We were just talking about coming out of the holidays and all of that stuff. And, as you get older, you really feel it more. Used to when you're younger, you could eat anything you want to. And,
Just go on about your business
just
after
do
that.
your thing, right? But, if my body was a car, Dinah, you know what? I'd trade it in for a newer model. You know why? Because every time I cough or sneeze, my radiator leaks and my exhaust backfires.
Nice. Awesome.
It's time for Peeve of the Week.
Hey, that was pretty funny. Welcome back to Moonshine Safari,
Welcome.
everybody.
Everybody.
That's Dina over there.
That's Josh over there. That's me. He almost got me
Gotcha.
then.
Yeah. Hey, it's time for Peeve of the Week.
Peeve.
Yeah, Peeve of the Week. We're gonna keep this in kind of short and sweet. My apologies. I'm about ready to sneeze, but I'm not gonna edit this. Just FYI.
So if you hear it, you hear it.
Because I am too damn lazy to do it tonight. Anyway, here's my peeve. and Dean and I kind of share this peeve. Okay, we're honest people. I mean,
I actually get myself into trouble.
we're honest to a fault kind of people. And here's the thing: other people don't make us be honest. And what I mean by that is don't ask us questions that you don't want truthful answers to, because we are the type of people who will give them to you. Okay, and there are people who actually request that, and they're cool with it. There are people who request it and not cool with it, and there are people who push you
to do it
at their own peril.
Exactly.
And the reason that kind of brought that up is I saw a quote this past week by Thomas Paine. If you don't know who Thomas Paine is, please read a history book. He said, "He who does not offend cannot be honest." You know, right now, we're in this culture of everybody's freaking offended by everything, but you're not really offended. You just want to rage. That's all you really care about.
Feel
you
like
just
some
want,
kind of a social justice warrior.
Right. You want to
person.
be, exactly. You want something to, you want your life to mean something. You want to stand for something. How about just stand up for truth and honesty and treating people decent? How about that?
You've got to
how
stand
about
for
that?
something or you're
That's right.
anything.
Hey, and I'm probably going to offend you because I'm an honest person. And if you're a dishonest person, I'm certainly going to offend you. But you know what? Here's a cool thing. If I offend you, all you are offended. That's it. And if you don't care about my opinion, then you shouldn't be offended.
Well, okay, like Josh is saying, I mean, truthfully, I've had people, you know, throughout my life asking a question, and then literally I've had times where I've said to somebody, "You don't want me to answer that.
Right.
Don't make me answer that question.
Don't make me answer that question."
And it's like, but then you get pushed and they want you to answer it and they say they want you to answer it, and then it gets ugly.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, like he said, if you don't want to know, don't ask.
Right.
I've never been one of those people that wanted to be able to read minds because I don't always want to know what people think about me.
A lot of times if I'm asked things, especially in emails or texts by clients or something like that, I just will ignore it. I won't even go there. And if they ask me again, I'll just go, you know what? I'm not going to address that. I'm not interested. And that's basically how I do it. And I know it may come across as being just cold and rude, but do you really want me to smack you in the face? You really don't want me to smack you in the face. And yeah.
Not really.
Not really. So anyway, that's Peeve of the Week. Guess what?
What?
Josh has got Pro Tip of the Week too. Coming up. He's taking over the whole show as
Do
usual.
it. Oops. I hit it.
Get out your notepads. It's time for Pro Tip of the Week.
Yep.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody, from Moonshine Safari Studios in Gilbert, Arizona. I'm Josh.
I'm Tina.
Hey, we got Pro Tip of the Week for you. It has to go along with Peeve of the Week, kind of, because it's about honesty. All right? So here's my pro tip, and Dinah's too. And Dinah is one of the people who, she lives this. I've seen it. I've heard it on the phone. If you make a mistake in a business transaction, something you did, and it's an error that you have caused, of course, the number one thing you need to do is try and fix that error. Absolutely. Really, what you need to do is own up to it. And if you need to let people know in advance to mitigate damage instead of hiding and not taking it or blaming someone, the best thing is to get out in front of it. Get out in front of it and let people know and assure them that you're doing your best and you will do your best to fix it and do what you can. Now, in that interim time, you're doing whatever you can to fix the problem, right? It's that simple.
I mean, yeah, if it's truly something that, say, you messed up, but by doing whatever needs to be done, like you just need to make one phone call and it'll fix it. Okay, well, you don't necessarily have to alert the presses, but if it's something that's going to affect people, then they need to know. And
Well,
you need
yeah,
to tell them.
yeah, that's true. I'm glad you clarified that, and that's the intent that I meant as well. Yeah, if it's going to cause an issue that's going to be unavoidable and cause a delay, and they're going to know, you might as well get out there in front of it. And they may not be happy, but guess what? You're honest. You have a clear conscience. You can move on. And you know what? If they don't like that service or they don't like that you made a mistake and they want to go somewhere else, that's their right. They can do that. They can go where they want. So
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Just be
truthfully,
honest.
I would rather it. You know, everybody knows I'm in mortgages. When something's going wrong with my file, as much as I would like to stick my head in the ground and not talk to anybody, that's actually the moment at which I'm going to pick up the phone no matter what, because I refuse to be hidden, because I just think it makes you look. It makes your business dealings look bad. It calls everything into question.
Yep.
So
no integrity
absolutely.
in that kind of business dealing when you do stuff like that. Yep.
Pony up.
Yep. And hey, if you made the mistake, you know what? Take your comeuppance.
Absolutely.
Right? All right.
Handle it.
Exactly. Hey, coming up, Josh and Dinah's Moonshine Safari. Our own personal story. Continuing? Possibly.
Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Shh. Quiet and listen. It's time for Marriage Story of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, Dina. What you doing?
Josh. Messing around with my phone.
I can see that. You're not really paying attention
I was
right
Instagramming though. See, it was very important.
now. You made me kick the microphone. Do you have a beverage today?
I do not have a beverage today.
Oh, but you're supposed to ask me about what I'm having.
What are you drinking?
Oh,
Josh?
I'm glad you asked. I'm so glad
See,
you
that's
asked.
why you're better at this.
I'm so glad you asked. I'm having a little bit of Old Number 7 on ice. And those of you who know what Old Number 7 is, you know what I'm talking about. A little bit of that on ice is tasty. Hold on a second. See if you can hear this.
I wonder if they heard that.
Yeah, I think you did. I made noise that I don't normally make, obviously. I don't drink like that. I don't go... I don't do that. Or maybe I do.
Not
No, I
that
don't
I've
think
noticed.
I did.
Not that I've noticed.
Right. Hey, look. Moonshine Safari just mentioned me in a post.
I know, it's shocking.
Wow.
I wonder how that
I
happened.
really like them. Those guys at Moonshine
I
Safari.
know.
They're pretty cool.
They're all over it.
They're always liking my posts and stuff.
I know. It's amazing.
Isn't that great? Hey, everybody. Thanks. Anyway, let's get back to our story. Hey, we kind of jumped around last show on
Couple
the 25th
shows.
episode.
Actually.
If you haven't listened to that one, go back and listen to that. That's kind of a recap of 2018 and kind of some stuff that we did and some fun highlights and things. And we thought we'd just kind of talk about, but just kind of pick up again our story in 2019. And we had our kids were little, and we lived in Tempe.
We lived in Tempe, which is, for people who aren't in Arizona, Tempe is where ASU is.
Oh yeah, that's where ASU is. We were just actually out, and we should have given them. Yeah, we should have. You know what? Yeah, I should have given them a. I don't know what I'm doing now. I don't usually go, but I'm catching myself doing it. I don't know. It's driving me crazy.
You know what? Yeah, I've heard. And never mind.
Do I do it all the time?
No. It's not that. I think we all just get into little habits without.
Oh, that's
realizing
annoying.
it.
It's even annoying me when I hear it. Anyway, I'm sorry, folks. Give a shout out to the Phoenix Zoo. We were at Zoo Lights last night, and that was pretty
awesome.
freaking awesome. As usual, that's one of our family traditions that we do every year.
Every year.
And we went to Rehab Burger first for
Robin
dinner.
is a big old Zoo Lights person.
Oh, she is. And we just have a great time. We like to go at the end of the season when it's not as busy and it's a colder, because a couple of years it's not been very cold, and it was pretty chilly last night. And then we went to Rehab Burger over in Tempe, and that was delicious.
Rehab Burger was awesome.
Let me just, and shout out to them and our server and everybody, but let's just, if you can't order an appetizer and an entree at Rehab Burger. Unless you're a
not
football
because it's
team.
not really good.
Oh my gosh. We ordered the Philly cheesesteak fries or something like that. They brought a bucket out with, it was huge. It was a platter. And
Well, as soon as we all saw it, we're like, well, we didn't really need any burgers.
We really didn't.
Shoot.
It was so good too. It was really delicious. And it had like sriracha mayo or something, sour cream. That's it.
Yeah,
oh, it
sour
was so
cream.
good.
And the melted cheese whiz kind of stuff that is on Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah. that stuff that's
Chilies,
really nasty.
just-
See, we're talking
it's
about this
wonderful.
now. I'll tell you why we're talking about
Sounds
this is because we started our fast again today. So we haven't had but about between 200 and 400 calories. So
Well,
we're probably
actually,
hungry.
Josh has had less than me. I've had probably about 500 calories.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's why we got off on food. Anyway, so we talked about we discussed what we were going to talk about today, and we thought, you know what, we've always been upfront and telling you kind of guys who we are and what. And when Del Toro was little,
He was 2.
Dinah started having some
Weird symptoms
about some stuff. Why don't you go ahead and take off and give the beginnings of what was going on?
Well, we've already kind of told them that I have a diagnosis.
Right.
Multiple sclerosis. We're never really sure how to say that. And the reason we always tiptoe it around a little bit is because the past few years I've had several doctors looking at me considering that maybe the diagnosis is wrong. So that's kind of where that weirdness comes from when we talk about it. But essentially, when Del Toro was 2, I woke up one day and couldn't see well out of my left eye. And was feeling a little dizzy, it was weird. As a matter of fact, you know, he was born when I was 25, so I was 27. So, I mean, I was young. And I really thought, seriously, that it was going to be a brain tumor because there was nothing else in my head that explained the symptoms. So I go to the doctor, and he says, oh, you know, this is typical medical establishment. You have an inner ear infection. Go home, take some Dramamine, you'll be fine. So I thought, oh, all right then, go home. And over the next week or 2, it's just getting worse. So eventually he refers me, because it seems to be optical at that point, to an ophthalmologist. And the ophthalmologist puts a color chart in front of me, and half the colors in the chart are missing. Most of them are brown to me. And so actually, like if I was looking at something straight on, the middle part of it was missing. And so driving was hard. When I would look at people, I would look at them to the side because I couldn't see it straight. It was just bizarre. And
probably should not have been driving at that point, but
shouldn't have
didn't
been.
know
I just,
what
you
was
know,
going
I
on.
kept just thinking it was just, you know, you're 27 and you're stupid. Anyway. Sorry, guys, if you're 27, but you know, when
like,
the older you get, the
are not
smarter you
stupid.
get. But anyway, after when I was seeing the ophthalmologist, he said, "Well, we need to do an MRI because we need to look for something like multiple sclerosis or lupus." Okay, when I was a little girl, there was a split second that they thought maybe I had lupus. That passed, and I was fine for years and years and years and years. The multiple sclerosis thing, I had never known anybody. I had heard of literally Annette Funicello. That was the only person I had ever known of personally that had MS, although my brother-in-law's mother did have it, but you know, it was not really somebody I knew. So I, of course, started researching it like everybody does. I mean, we were already now in the age of basically Google, and I started looking on the internet about symptoms and noticing that there were a couple of things that had happened before that might have been a little bit suggestive of MS. But, you know, then you start to think, well, maybe I'm a little bit crazy because eventually it goes away and you're better and you feel fine and you just go on about your business and you think, well, I guess maybe it was just a flu or, you know, you just don't know. And so, but then something else weird would happen and then I would go back to the doctor. Eventually, I was set up with a neurologist who would do the MRI every year. And we did that for about 4 years.
Now, at that time, or at this time, help me remember.
Yeah.
Was the optic neuritis that you had was the heat affecting you yet? Where if you got in the car or you got out of the shower yet, that you were having a hard time seeing?
No.
Not yet?
I mean, I was always sort of sensitive to heat. Like, I remember my mom used to say that even when she took me to the zoo when I was a little girl, they had to carry me out because she said my face was red like tomato. But, you know, I was a little girl, too, so who knows? But I always seemed to be somewhat sensitive to heat. But, no, it was not affecting me like that at that point. But what happened is, so several years in a row, I did an MRI, and they never saw anything. But I keep having weird symptoms, and every time you look it up, it all seems to fall under that multiple sclerosis category. So eventually I skipped a year. And then I had a bunch of weird stuff I felt like happened all at once. And I I really had already felt like solid in my belief that when I went back and when I did another one, they were going to find it. And that was the year they found it. So he said he saw some lesions. He asked me, this is going to become important at some point if somebody cares to ask, but he asked me if I wanted a lumbar puncture. I said, well, do I need one? He said, no. I said, well, then why would I want one?
Right.
So he did not do a lumbar puncture to confirm the diagnosis, but he confirmed it basically on the MRIs. So that starts our little journey about learning about multiple sclerosis. We started with Big Pharma, not to be ugly about it, but that's where most people start. I mean, they start with your conventional doctors. Conventional doctors are going to go with conventional meds. You know, there's a lot of things that I know now that I would probably do different if I could go back in time, but it is what it is, and I've learned what I've learned. So they started me on the basically the protocols that are normal for people with especially beginning multiple sclerosis. And it's been a wild ride. I've had a couple of bad years. When I say bad years, some people, when they talk about MS and bad years, have so much worse than me. Just so much worse than me. So I'm really careful about that. I've had a couple of, I'll just say, more of a struggle for me. I had one year where they were actually testing me for Lyme because I seemed to be reacting to antibiotics, which is part of what I was telling you with the possible misdiagnosis. And then I had a little bit of a struggle this year because I had been on steroids for a while and I came off of it. And if anybody's ever done that, that's like extra fun.
So much fun.
So much fun. So, you know, been through the whole pharma ringer. And when I say that, it's like, it's important. And I know everybody who has any kind of chronic anything like this, they know it's not just you, it's your whole family. Your whole family is going through this whole, I don't know, journey.
Safari.
There you go. Multiple, you know, and it's interesting. I've even thought of that before because it's Moonshine Safari MS.
I just realized.
Anyway,
that.
I've thought of that before.
Well, you're quicker than I am.
But you know, this is like our multiple sclerosis safari, if you want to call it that. It's been
something.
I mean, but you know, I like have the best husband and I have the best kids, so I can't complain. When it comes to that.
Yes, she does.
I can complain,
yes,
but I
does.
should not complain.
She does have the best husband. You tell them, everybody. You tell her, say, Dina, you do have the best husband.
It's true.
That's right. All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
I mean,
I'll tell you from my perspective. I mean, I was not having a great year when all of the diagnosis and everything was coming down because my parents had, well, my father had been diagnosed with cancer. Well, my mom had been diagnosed with cancer and had surgery. My father had been diagnosed with cancer as well. And so, I did it again.
That all happened, by the way, guys. The multiple sclerosis diagnosis happened between the diagnoses of his parents.
Yeah.
Diagnoses.
Yeah. So that was a tough couple years in that beginning from the diagnosis
that was 04.
to and we'll talk about Mom and Pop, another show. But yeah, that was a tough time, and I wasn't sure. I mean, I knew she had some struggles, but other than that, she seemed normal. I mean, you had some bad days, but
I mean, I was still going on about my business.
Yeah.
I was working. I was taking care of the kids.
Well, I mean, you're still working now. Still
well, I
taking
am
care
working,
of the kids
but
and
I
doing
mean,
stuff.
you know, I had little kids, and I was still handling them fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
So
it was a progressive thing, and so of course I'm scared. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to learn what's going on.
The only experience you have with it is your brother-in-law's
right and
mother, which she was in a bad way.
Well, she had it when there was nothing for MS. There was no treatment. There was
and not
nothing.
even really any understanding of it.
And she was progressive, and she basically lost all motor functions, and they severed her spinal cord, and I guess for the pain or whatever, and she couldn't really speak. And you know, they took care of her. Well, the boys did. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for the father. They didn't work together. But anyway, that's not my business. Anyway, so those of you guys out there, if you have a family member, you better do your thing.
Okay, but not only that, I see a lot of, and
Do
I
the
don't,
right thing.
I don't really know. It's not like I know a lot of people with MS. I know that there are support groups. I tried it once. To be honest, I felt like I wasn't really up for wallowing in it, because to me, it actually makes me feel more in it than if I don't do that.
Well, to be fair, you're one of the most fearless people I know, and
I don't think that's true.
it's true. It's true. You don't mind. I guess to me, it's like this. It's like you're not afraid of fighting it. You just don't want somebody to tell you about it.
I don't want to talk. Okay. No, what happened is, for the first several years that I had it, my thought was just ignore it.
Right.
If you just ignore it,
That's
it'll
what
go
I mean.
away.
That's
and,
what I
the
mean.
problem is it doesn't go away. And
You should see how she gets before she goes to any doctor. It's. I mean, we've been to so many, it's the same.
Well, and ignoring it, the problem is ignoring it doesn't change anything. You still have to face it. So I think I'm better than I used to be. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm good.
Okay, you're better than you used to be, because at least now you look me in the face and go, I know I'm being ridiculous. I know it. I know I am. When before, 20 years ago, I would go, what's wrong? And you would just be mad, and you would would admit why.
I don't even think
Or
I
maybe you didn't
realized
know.
that that's
Well,
why.
That could
to
be.
be honest.
That could be. Well, it gets old going to the doctor and sitting there and going through all the tests and getting poked and prodded and this and that, and for every little
and
thing.
then, we know that some of Josh's peeves have been on the fact that they don't look at your charts. Well, how do you think he knows that? So it's like
They're all putting it together now. They're going, oh,
gotcha.
That's why he doesn't like doctors.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's why I'm not necessarily a big pharma people.
No.
I've been on almost every chemical you can imagine, and most of them have done
the natural
jack
stuff that
for
we've
me.
been on.
Natural stuff has been the best.
Has been the best. The natural
Some of the
treatment.
stuff they put me on to help the symptoms, you get flipping addicted to.
Oh yeah, they don't
and
tell
then
you
you
about
have
that.
to withdraw from.
We can talk about that.
So yeah, exactly. So the point is, it's like I said, it's a huge journey. And the thing is I've seen enough. Like I had subscribed to quite a few Facebook pages on my personal Facebook for MS and stuff like that. I see a lot of people saying that their husband or wives left when they heard about they knew they had the disease, or they think, oh, they're making stuff up. Okay, I've never had that. So if you have to have this, it sucks. And don't get me wrong, I'd rather not have it. That said, thank God I have a
just
support
buy a
system.
shackle and like a long lead rope, and she just chained me to the floor.
That's right, you're stuck.
I'm stuck. That's it. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to stop.
I think it's
you know what?
fine.
I just tell you guys, she doesn't open up like that. And probably if you were standing here,
I would have said less.
she would have said way less, and probably wouldn't have said anything. I would have probably done most of the talking. So
I
this
just
is
said,
a nice.
it's no big deal.
It's a nice way for her to share, for her too. So thank you for sharing, Dana. I appreciate that. I really do, and I'm sure our listeners appreciate it too.
I'm a big sharer.
Coming up, guess what? It's time for drinks and recipes.
Drinks and recipes.
Coming up. I can't find the button.
Get out your glasses. It's time for the Moonshine Safari drinks and recipes.
Did you find the button?
I found it twice.
Somebody didn't turn their phone on. So.
I know. Hey, it's Pinterest. Hi, Moonshine. Beer, food, home brew.
Woo-woo.
Recipes and other topics picked for you. Oh, look at that.
Just for me.
Just for us. Just for Moonshine. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. Drinks and recipes.
Drinks and recipes.
Yeah, I got one that Dinah does not like, but oh, so good. So good. It is called Josh's Bloody Moon.
Blue moon.
No, Bloody Moon. You know, like the Blood Moon. Everybody goes crazy over the blood moons. Like, oh, blood moon, so-and-so is coming back, and the world's coming to an end, and oh, another blood moon. And, yeah, we're still here. Anyway, no, it's like my play on a Bloody Mary, but it's Josh's Bloody Moon because, yes, using moonshine. That's right. You can use, I like the Old Smoky, White Lightning. That works. I like the Peralta Moonshine. That works. Blue Flame. That works if you like it a little stronger. And then any of your favorite Bloody Mary mixes. I like Bold and Spicy. because that's how I like my life and my women. Isn't that right, Dinah? Bold and spicy.
I wouldn't know. I am like bland.
come on.
I'm a bland person.
Oh, Lord, I want to get in
Bland,
trouble.
boring.
All right, so what you do is you take 2 shots, I would say. 2 shots of the White Lightning. Put it in a glass. Put some ice in there. Fill the rest up with Bloody Mary mix. Stir it up. I don't do celery, guys. I don't do the foo-foo in my drink. I just want to drink. I don't want food in my drink.
like
I just want to
celery.
drink. Have you seen those things on Food Network where they take Bloody Mary and there's like a whole chicken and like a triple cheeseburger and like 14 hot dogs and some French fries, and it's all in the Bloody Mary? Have you
Pretty
seen that
impressive.
craziness?
I have not.
That is crazy. Look that stuff up on Food Network or Tasty or something, See, there we go. Talking about food again. See what's going to happen?
This is what happens during the fast, everyone.
Oh, and we're going to be fasting for the next 3 weeks. So probably we'll be talking about food on the next 3 shows.
But we should be clear. It's not like we're starving ourselves. We're fast for 3 days a week, 3 weeks out of the month.
Yeah, we'll tell you about all the fasting stuff later. Yeah, it's not anything to be worried about.
It's actually good for us.
Yeah, it's a healthy fast. What I mean by fast is we're not full fasting the whole day. Let's just put it that way. We do eat, but it's a small window and it's a small number of calories.
Correct.
That's how we do it. So, hey, everybody, Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.
We really appreciate it.
We do.
Hey, and from Josh and Dinah and Moonshine Safari
And Robin and Del Toro.
and Robin Del Toro from Moonshine
And
Safari
all
Studios.
the dogs. And the cat.
Okay, anything else? And the couch
I
and the
think that's
carpet
it,
and the lamp.
Right?
Judgy lamp is judging you. Have you seen that meme? That is funny.
Judgy lamp? No.
Have you haven't seen that?
No.
Judgy lamp. You know the lamps that used to have like those
Oh,
curly
yeah,
arms?
yeah. I do
Look like
remember
somebody
that.
standing there with their hands on their
That's
hips.
funny, actually.
It says Judgy lamp is
That's
judging you.
funny.
It is funny. Hey, everybody. Come back next week for episode 27.
27.
Hey, shine happens, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Hey y'all, welcome to Moonshine Safari. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as well as check the description for information on our social media sites, as well as our Patreon account to help support our adventures in the Moonshine Wilderness.